Amar Kaushik's Bhediya is a sincerely made movie which is backed by good songs, great acting from Abhishek Banerjee, a good debut for Palin Kabak, an always reliable Deepak Dobriyal, a Varun Dhawan who has given it his all. Was it his best acting role? No. But was it his most physically challenging acting role? Yes. And he delivers. His physicality in the movie adds so much, especially in the very smartly crafted transformation scenes of where he turns into a Bhediya or a werewolf. Thank God, Kriti Sanon is not just a pretty face. And while I would have liked to see a little more from her in the movie or in the story, there is more to her character than meets the eye. Writer Nirain Bhatt, director Amar Kaushik, and most importantly cinematographer Jishnu Bhattacharjee craft a very cool world. Now, in my opinion, the biggest asset of the world of Bhediya is the fact that they shot in real locations, and it shows. It adds to the grandness of the movie, it adds to the grandness of what they are trying to show in the movie, the message that the movie tries to convey. It shows you the grandeur of the forests, of the sort of destruction that takes place when roads are built right through the forests. It really helps you relate to the motivations of the various characters in the movie. I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to two of my favorite dialogues from the movie. One which is a Breaking Bad reference where Varun Dhawan says, "I am the danger." And second, and it is so poetic, "Mere tatti mein se prakash nikla hai." What a dialogue. Was it all great? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think I had any major issues with the movie other than that it was missing an X factor. I don't know what it was and I can't still wrap my head around it. But there was something that was missing. It had good songs, it had good acting, it had good editing, it had good VFX. Great VFX in fact. And yet there weren't so many oh my god moments that I was kind of expecting from it. I think one reason behind that is that it was, whether to its benefit or to its doom is yet to be decided, it was marketed as a movie similar to Stree. Now while Stree was an out and out horror comedy, I don't think this was as much of a horror as Stree. Yes, there was comedy and yes, there were great gags, especially the Himesh Reshamya one. If you haven't already seen it, you're probably imagining the correct gag. If I did have to pinpoint to something and say, oh, maybe this is what didn't work, I think it was the fact that it is always a challenge to deliver an astounding climax to the movie when your main character is entirely CG crafted. When the moment is tense, there's a lot at stake and the camera pans up, there's a full moon in the background and you see Varun Dhawan standing on top of a building, only his silhouette visible. That is sure to incite claps. But when the same Varun Dhawan is replaced with a CGI werewolf version of him, I think it takes away from that mass moment that this movie required. More than a horror comedy, I'd say this was a superhero origin story and a good one at that. If only that is what they had ensured that the audience should expect from it. In my opinion, it was more comparable to Brahmastra than it was to Stree, even though they have integrated Stree's universe extremely well into this movie. So is this universe going to be one that finally works for the Indian audience, or is it going to be yet another one that is just done for the sake of building a universe, since that's the trend currently? We'll probably have to find out. But one thing is guaranteed, Amar Kaushik and his storytelling is novel, it is unique, and he definitely has his own style, which is what excites me, and I hope it excites everyone to go and watch new stories or stories that may have been told but are being told in a completely new manner in the theaters. We talk about the remake fatigue, but we need to go and support these kind of movies if we want to see new stories, because we need to encourage storytellers to tell new stories rather than just make remakes of movies that have already worked elsewhere. So for that very reason, and also the fact that I genuinely had a good time watching this movie, I definitely say go watch it. Oh yes, another criticism. 3D, please do away with it. Yes, there were some moments where the 3D was good in the movie, but it really doesn't add much, and in fact it just dulls down the color of the movie. Every time I wanted to try and see something, I had to take my 3D glasses off and then be like, oh, it's actually so colorful and it looks so good. And as soon as I put them back on, and I'm like, oh man, what a waste. So yeah, kudos to Varun Dhawan. Your physical transformation, your look, the entire way that your look has been crafted was extremely impressive. And I can't wait to see him back in this avatar with a harder hitting story to tell. Maybe in the sequel of Stree, who knows? Another thing I really want to give credit to the makers of this movie, including the actors, the directors, and the entire team that has worked on it, is that they did not release anything till they had a good product on hand. And that really shows in the movie. They have poured their heart and soul into making this. They have spent time in real locations in Arunachal Pradesh, shooting the movie in the forest with the local people. And the fact that they have spent hours on end in the post-production of the movie is very visible. All in all, a well-produced, a well-acted, a well-directed movie that just lacked the oomph factor. Other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. If you haven't, go watch it. I would definitely recommend it. You can also follow me on Instagram at @SurveyGearButch. Yes, that's my name for more such content. I will see you soon for another review. Till then, take care. Peace.